Veal Marsala. And rather than doing boneless cuts from the leg that tend to overcook very quickly and dry out, I'm gonna use veal chops. If you see more fat on one like this, you may wanna trim a little bit of it off, just a little less of that external fat. I'm gonna take my little meat mallet. All I'm trying to do here is actually spread it out a little bit. I don't need to tenderize it. Veal is very, very tender meat. Now, what happens here? I'll usually save this trim for another purpose, a soup or a stew. Put that over there. Seasoned flour. This flour has been seasoned so heavily with salt and pepper. Knock this away. Take half a stick of butter. And I'm gonna increase that to high. Lay one chop on one side, lay the other chop on the other, and let that brown. There are a lot of people looking at this saying, wow, that's a lot of butter. We're actually frying in butter. I am going to be using this pan to be building 3 different elements here. The chops, the sauteed mushrooms and shallots, then the marsala and the chicken stock. So by the time all is said and done, we're gonna have enough sauce for 4 to 6 portions. Next thing I wanna do, I wanna add some sage and rosemary. I'm gonna add some garlic cloves in their paper. And the reason is that those ingredients are going to flavor the butter. Let's see what our color's like. Oh, perfect. We're looking for that beautiful nut brown. I love being able to move everything around in here. And when I take that beautiful beurre noisette, I mean, just on its own, that sauce is lovely. Now at this point, the chops, they're probably just hitting rare. It's not going to take very long for them to get to medium-ish. All right, these are ready to come out and rest. And I'm gonna get the rest of my solids out of there. And that garlic in there, it's just so pretty. Let's start to cook our shallots. The shallots are gonna be the beginning of the backbone of this sauce. And then I wanna put mushrooms into this pan. I have some gorgeous little cremini, these baby portobello mushrooms. I have gorgeous oyster mushrooms. I have some stunning meitakes. All I wanna do is get some browning of the shallot and the mushroom, and it's gonna pick up the fond that's in that pan. Now at this point, I wanna make sure that I'm physically sauteing. And the reason is that I don't wanna burn any of my mushrooms. And I can see that my shallots and my mushrooms have picked up the rest of that butter and they're starting to caramelize in there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add my marsala. Now, the alcohol that's in here is actually gonna pull mushroom flavors out into the sauce. So before I add my stock, I'm actually gonna add my marsala, and we're gonna let that reduce and pick up all the flavors. So the pan is nearly dry. My marsala has reduced. I'm gonna add my stock. I'm gonna let that come together. And I think we're ready to add our chops back, and most importantly, this. You know, there's a tablespoon of chopped juice and those little bits of rosemary, and that's really gonna add a nice little flavor component to our dish. I'm just gonna whisk in a little bit of butter, just to tighten that up a little bit of lemon zest. And by the way, this is some kale that I sauteed in olive oil with some hot chili flakes. We have this beautiful marsala sauce. Make sure that gets on there. Scatter some of the mushrooms, a little bit of sea salt at the last minute. Just throw a couple of those fried sage leaves. And that is a textbook sauteed veal chop marsala. This really looks like a stunning dish for autumn.